for, or is it okay?
Yeah, you should not talk.
Right now is when you don't want us to talk?
Like about now.
They're here? Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Happy Groundhog Day, fangirls and fanboys. It's the Electric Fan Cave and ElectricFeast.com. Tis I, Corrigan Vaughn, and my crewmate Kristen Latterell, bringing you another week of pop culture trivia and mayhem. We've got a club of tuneful rovers here with us this evening. Ben and Jason Helms of the brand new LucasArts-centric podcast, Men of Low Moral Fiber. We're going to dish out some trivia about what's been happening in pop culture this week and reminisce on those old-school days of PC gaming. Put on your nostalgia pants, kids. It's time to take it way, way back. Hey, you guys. Nostalgia pants.
I don't even own pants.
Yeah, you're not even wearing regular pants.
I'm not wearing regular pants. Ooh.
Yes.
I think I only wore.
Good evening.
I only have nostalgia pants.
That's true.
You need to watch
Ben,
this,
Jason,
Yeah.
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Yeah. Happy Groundhog Day. Apparently, good news, everyone. The groundhog did not see his shadow.
Oh, thank goodness.
That's good.
Yeah.
Puxatawny Phil.
I forget what that means. Does that mean there's going to be winter or not winter?
That means there's less winter. Spring is coming sooner.
He didn't see his shadow?
Well,
Yeah.
it's 65 degrees today. It
So that's-
was 65 degrees today in Fort Worth, so I can't stand 6 more weeks of this. I mean, that'd be
We
pretty
had
tough.
5 inches of snow outside in Mount Shasta. So
Enjoy that.
Apparently he didn't see it soon enough, or he saw it too late. I don't know what the rules are with the
I
groundhog.
don't either. I'm generally just confused about this, how this whole process works. Like, how do you know whether a hedgehog? That's not the thing.
No,
A
it's a
groundhog
groundhog.
sees its shadow or not.
How does he... Yeah, I don't know. He must... Is he scared of it? Does
Like
he,
he
like,
runs
do, like,
away?
a Peter Pan type thing, or...
If he tries to sew it back on, that means that there's 6 more weeks of winter.
No, like, his shadow tries to run away from him?
Oh, I
Wait.
see.
Or is it, like, whether you see whether you see it? So maybe there's, like... He's not standing... I don't know.
No, I think it's if he sees his own.
Alright,
So it's gotta
Corey,
be like
I just gotta know.
If he gets out of his little Puxatawny hole and like looks north or south, depending on
Official
where.
name of the hole. It's a Puxatawny.
It's
Puxatawny
Puxatawny
Hole.
Films.
Is that the name of the town?
It's the name of the town. Yeah,
Is that how you say
And
it?
the hole.
I think so.
Yeah.
How would
I don't
you
know. I've
say
never
it,
even-
Kristen?
I've never even... There's way too many letters and, like, no vowels. I'm just like, meh, whatever. That place that guy is from.
Puxatawny.
And
Yeah.
by
That guy, the groundhog.
Now, is this the same groundhog that predicts the Super Bowl, or is it the different one? Isn't there a
Same
dog
guy.
or some... The same one?
I thought it was an octopus that predicts the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know the octopus.
No, you're thinking of hockey.
Ah, sports
Oh,
ball.
that's a hat trick.
Animals predicting all the sports balls.
I'm excited
Fun
for
thing.
all the sports questions. I studied a lot just by living my life like normal. And I'm ready.
There'll
Good.
be
What
zero.
sporting event is on Sunday?
Good. Yeah, there you go. Nice.
Sure.
Is it the
Superb
Pro Bowl again?
owl.
Yeah. No, it's not.
So
Well, I don't
many
know.
bowls.
Is there another word for it?
So many bowls.
This is today.
The
Someone
correct
was
term was the Puppy Bowl. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
truth. Today, someone was talking about the teams or a team that is playing
The
in the
18?
Super Bowl, and they said Carolina, and I still to this moment I don't know if that's a team or not, or
Yeah,
if
the
it's a joke.
Carolina Panthers. Cam
Nice
Newton.
work. Nice
Whoa,
work.
yeah, exactly.
Knowledgeable.
Got a mic, I drop it. I mean, I do.
Oh,
Kinda heavy.
which Carolina are they from?
The only one
Carolina.
north.
So here's the deal. They actually think that they're from both Carolinas. They want to bring in both. But South Carolina is firmly an Atlanta Falcons state. I just kind of let you know that. I lived there for 4 years, and we're all Falcons.
Da-na-na-na. That's my The More You Know star.
Yeah, we got that.
Oh,
Well, you got
I
that
got it.
because we do it all the time. I don't know if they
Did-
know.
did-
Oh,
I did the hand motion and the star above my
Yeah.
head as
Yeah.
you were singing.
I mean,
don't know if
you
saw that.
also ask questions all the time, and I wasn't really sure how that was going to go. So I don't think we should really trust me on things that I should know.
That's a really good point. Ben and/or Jason, tell us a little bit about the podcast you're starting up by way of introduction to why the heck we have you here. Aside from my having known you guys for literally half of my life.
And
Yeah,
I've
I'll
known
talk
you
to you a
for
little
like 6 minutes.
6,
So.
7 minutes maybe, yeah. Yeah, so we grew up in the Bay Area where LucasArts and Lucasfilm all originated, where George Lucas started all those companies. And we knew a lot of people that worked for those companies. We grew up playing a bunch of those LucasArts games like Monkey Island, Day of the Tentacle, bunch of Star Wars games. Basically, any Star Wars game from the 80s or 90s video game was a LucasArts game. And we still, to this day, talk about them a lot. And I think, I don't know, Jason, 3 months ago, we were talking about them for like an hour and a half. And we're like, we should go back and play them, and then we should talk about them. And then we should hit record while we do that. And then we should nerd out even more and do a bunch of research that we only talk about like this much of. And then I'll make fun music, and it'll be great. And we'll spend a lot of time and not get paid for it. I think it evolved from there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's probably how
That's like
most
the origin
podcasts
story
start.
of every podcast.
Cool.
Yeah,
Okay, we're doing it right
exactly.
then. All right,
Yeah.
glad to hear it.
I listened to the first episode of the podcast. Ben was kind enough to send a Dropbox link to that, which will be coming out Monday, you said, or Friday?
Friday.
Friday.
Will be coming out
Thanks,
Friday.
Kristen.
I listen to you guys.
But yeah, she pays more attention than I do.
It's been a good 7 minutes of friendship.
I already know more about you than Corey does.
Seriously.
Ooh! Rough. I know. I asserted earlier today that Jason's middle name was Archibald, and I'm pretty sure that's incorrect. So
I'm
Pretty
not
sure.
certain you're wrong.
it should be, if not. Anyways, I listened to the first episode of the podcast today, and one of the things that is super fun about this is the music in
Yeah.
it. So you guys full on like produced your own little jingles for segments of the podcast.
Wait,
Yeah,
by
I'm-
you guys, you mean Ben. Let's be real. Ben did all of that.
You helped me with the
Uh,
lyrics.
I had a
It's
feeling, but I
amazing.
wanted to open it up. You know.
I helped with one line of one song.
Oh hey.
Yeah, it was a good line. I don't remember what it was, but it was
Hey, that
great.
still
Yeah,
gets you a Grammy on the co-writing status if
yeah,
this was getting nominated.
exactly. You get half of the Grammy. You get the top half. So, yeah, I like writing songs, and they're rarely good. Most of the lyrics are like, when I try to write good songs, the lyrics are really obvious, and they're like, my heart is broken, and it's a really bad day, and it's raining outside, and I'm sad now. And I feel like the progressions are good, the melodies are good, but the lyrics are terrible. So writing something that's like about tentacles and Star Wars and random things, or just like, hey, now we're going to talk about the game, I think is one of the lyrics. Putting that to like a really quick 3-chord melody is really fun for me to like throw a bunch of guitars and a bunch of drums and stuff in there. So
Yeah, you're really
I love doing
playing to your strengths as a songwriter.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I love
And so I mean, now you've got this podcast coming. Whoa, why are there two Jasons?
It's not right.
Hey guys,
Oh.
sorry about that.
You've got this podcast coming out. Your plan is to do this monthly?
Jay, you answer the question now.
Sorry. So what was happening, by the way, is I was catching at least every fourth word.
Oh,
so
sorry, man.
I just got off of my iPad and switched to my phone.
Cool.
I think
Okay.
it's my Wi-Fi's problem.
I know, this is very strange because, you know,
I heard
listening
so
to
little.
the actual podcast, you're quite talkative, so you were surprisingly quiet at this
Yeah,
point.
exactly. I was
So,
listening to Steve, I was waiting for you to jump in.
Sorry.
anytime now.
Yeah.
How long has that been going on for? Because it's been the entire time I've been.
Oh. We've just been staring at you.
You've been playing it off
Oh,
well,
man.
though. You've had a
It's
good
okay.
dawn and
I just answered for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. It was
Pretty
great.
much nobody knows what's going on or what your podcast is about. It's totally fine.
I got in the thing about the music. I mean, it totally sounded like I was paying attention, right?
It did. I was impressed.
Yeah, we're monthly. First Friday of every month. Shows drop at noon.
And the idea is that
Noon?
potentially your audience can play the game that you say that you're going to do for the next one, and then be in on the conversation in a sense the next time you do it.
Yeah, that's exactly the idea. You know, you don't have to play the whole game through, but just even playing for a little bit, you get an idea of what the game's about, and then you can tune in and get all the spoilers.
Indeed. And going back to my connection to this too, I mean, Ben and I played a lot of Monkey Island when we were in high school. This is like a normal afternoon occurrence, and ever since then I've been playing like every time Mac Heist or something like that comes out with a new volume of Monkey Island, I'm like, sweet, get this, and then I get halfway through and I inevitably get stuck on something, or like one of them I've even gone through all the walkthroughs and stuff, and it's just there was a glitch in it, and so it's literally impossible for me to finish the game.
Always fun.
But I've been doing this all along, so is that going to be something that you approach in your podcast, some of the newer iterations of the games that have come out?
Definitely,
Yes,
we hope
Jason.
to. The first one we'll be looking at is, you listen to the first podcast, this is our spoiler for our first podcast. We'll announce the next game, and so it's actually going to be a game that's been re-released or is being re-released next month, Day of the Tentacle. Corey, did you know that Day of the Tentacle is being re-released next
I
month?
had no idea.
Wow, your mind is blown. So,
We didn't know until like a month into starting this podcast that it was
I thought you were about to say a
being
month into
re-released.
recording it. I was like, bro, how long did it take you to
lot
do
of
that?
time into these. They're
It's
40
good,
minutes
but
long.
it's not a month good.
I didn't say it was good. It's a lot of time though. I mean,
So they're doing a new Day of the Tentacle.
yeah, they're doing a new Day of the Tentacle. I think, yeah, March it comes out. They already did another. What was the one they released already, Jay?
Grim Fandango?
They've done a couple Monkey Islands, and Grim Fandango, Brutal Legend is going to come out again. Or no,
I think
yeah, Brutal Legend. Yeah, they're redoing Brutal Legend, which is a Tim Schafer game. Not necessarily, it's not a LucasArts game, but Tim Schafer is an artist who worked on, and a director who worked on a lot of LucasArts games. So yeah, they're just kind of going back and re-releasing them, and the weird thing to me, I thought was weird at least, is they're just redoing the art. They're not redoing the games or the puzzles, which I guess saves time and makes them money.
Right.
They look gorgeous. It's basically the same game though with less pixels, and it looks awesome. The puzzles are the same, but they added commentaries, which is probably the number one reason I'm gonna buy them.
What do you mean commentary?
I don't know. I'm so excited about that. What does that look
Yeah,
like?
I'm not sure. I really hope he just kind of like talks while he played the game, so the whole time you're playing, he's just like, oh, I don't remember what to do here. Where do I put this?
Yeah, there's just
soap?
some feedback narrating how hard it is.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just like the first hour of gameplay or if it's just like an MP3 that comes along with it, but I don't know. We love digging up those old interviews from those guys at the time and listening to what went into all of the making these games that are totally different than everything that was going on at the time.
Yeah, and who's making these now? I thought LucasArts closed. Is it still a thing?
No.
2008. Yeah, Jay, go for it.
Oh, you haven't. Yeah, you're right. Go on.
2008, it collapsed. I don't know what happened to it, actually. I know a lot of the people that worked for it, it went to Telltale Games. That's where a lot of them are now. A lot of the directors, Jay, you might know the names better than I do as far as other companies they went to.
Double Fine.
I'm sorry, but Jason's face when you singled him out right then was incredible. It was
What's
just
the
like
role that we
you're
play
"Don't
in the
ask me
pod?
this."
I know,
Was
I
it
keep talking to
confidence?
him.
Is that what you saw on my face? Confidence.
So
It was you were
In the-
oozing confidence.
You.
in the podcast, the role that just kind of naturally happened in the first podcast, and we've established now after recording 3 of them, is I'm kind of the host, and I set things up, and I throw it to Jason for more of the research or more of the research. Well, more of the fact that he was 4 years older than me, so I was 5 when some of these games came out. I didn't play them. He was 9, 10, 11, 12. He was talking with his friends and actually taking part of the strategy, and I was just watching the games happen.
Right.
So
forgot
I
what
usually go to him on any of the stuff that actually happened.
Okay, fair enough. And so we don't know exactly what happened with LucasArts, but did we determine who is making these now then?
Telltale and Double Fine are 2 of the big ones.
Okay.
Double Fine is the one that's re-releasing Day of the Tentacle and some of these re-releases that are happening. Telltale is actually making new ones for the most part. So they had a whole Sam & Max. I think they've had 4 volumes of Sam & Max that have come out.
Back to
They're
the
all
Future.
episodic. And they also have done that Walking Dead episodic one.
Yeah, they did
Game of Thrones.
Fables, right?
What one?
Yeah, they did Fables.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah. So that makes sense. I feel like it's sort of obviously probably everyone. Well, you said a lot of people from LucasArts went to Telltale Games then afterwards.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that makes a lot of sense. I was going to say probably that a lot of them are inspired by it, but clearly they're also just the same people. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yep.
I apologize.
Evidently, Lucasfilm or whoever owns the rights to those games, whoever owns the intellectual property of LucasArts, has been really cool about letting Double Fine and Telltale use it. And said, we're not really competing in that. We're just focused on Star Wars games. You guys do what you want to do.
Right.
I'm sure it'll be case by case, and we'll see going forward. But that's how they're getting to re-release this stuff.
Yeah, that's kind of awesome. I'm surprised that it actually works out that way, but it's exciting nonetheless. I will probably purchase and abandon halfway most of the games that come out during a Steam sale or something like that.
Sounds good.
Sweet deal.
I do feel like I have to say one thing about our name.
Yes.
So,
Oh, yeah.
So my mother, who you know, our mother, who is visiting right now, and I told her about the podcast, and she's really excited about it. She's a mother, she's supportive and all that. And so she stopped me and said, you know, with the name of Men of Low Moral Fiber, I think a lot of people are going to think it's pornography. So, like, I feel at this point I just need to be really clear. It's really not pornography.
That's not the main point of the podcast.
It had never occurred to me that would be. I tried to assure her. I tried to assure her and say, well, then they'll just leave once they actually listen to the podcast.
They'll be very disappointed, or they'll be like, hey, why don't I stick around? This is one of my favorite things. On multiple occasions, I've seen people come to the Electric Feast website on search terms that are pornography, but like then you can see that they end up reading whatever the other article was about that they attention that they stumbled upon. So I guess people can be distracted from porn.
There you go.
So explain Men of Low Moral Fiber what it actually means.
Jason, I'm talking now. Sorry, it's cutting in and out a lot. Men of Low Moral Fiber is from the original Monkey Island, and it's a group of pirates that we just refer, or that the game refers to as the Men of Low Moral Fiber. So you go to the Men of Low Moral Fiber to ask them questions, give you clues to puzzles that you're working on, and then they occur in, I don't know if it's every Monkey Island, but most of them. It's just a group of pirates that are sitting there in the corner of one of their scenes, and they're just the same guys, the same three guys. There's like a short, fat one, a tall, skinny one, another guy. I mean,
another guy.
Or the other guy.
Yeah, we're the other guy. That's what we are.
Kristen,
yeah.
did you get a chance to attempt to play the game at all?
What?
Did you get a chance to play the game at all?
Did I get a chance to do what?
Okay, cool. I'm
Play
glad
the
it's
game?
Your voice is like weird. Sorry, it's hard to understand you. Did I get a chance to play the game? Okay, so I clicked on this link that I got, and I wasn't sure if I was supposed to play the first one, and so then I did, but it didn't seem like it was a game. It just seemed like this guy walking around telling me stuff, and I didn't know what was going on. And he like gave me directions, but then I like didn't actually do anything. Anyway, so then I was gonna play the pirate one, but I ran out of time, and then I started it. But I wasn't really sure what the rules were, and honestly, the only I'm not a good gamer, you guys. I played a lot of video games I played was like Mario Kart, and or like I would read the book and tell my brother how to get through levels of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
That's how we spent like an entire Christmas break. Is like he got the book and I read it because his reading skills are not as good as mine apparently.
Nice.
I don't know.
And your gaming skills are not there, so like.
And they're not. Like I press too hard on the buttons, and so my thumbs like get really sore. But I did play a lot of like you know, like those M-DOS games, like back in the day, like the ones where you had like the California like sporting events, like surfing or like windsurfing, like that one a lot, which is or skateboarding. It was like these California sport games. I don't know. I played that a lot. Also
Skate or
Ninja
Die?
Turtles. So
No, it wasn't. It was.
my brother had it. I don't know. Basically, I'm not very good at video games. I don't know a lot about them. I always hate it when I like at a movie and they show a preview like this looks like a cool movie, and like halfway through you're like, how come all these people look like they're hand-drawn, and what's happening? And then you realize it's a freaking video game, and I'm like pissed, because I'm like, God, I really want to watch this like noir movie, but I can't because it's a video game, and it's not even real. And I'm sad. It's pretty much my, like, that's all I know about it.
I enjoyed that so much.
Corey didn't really clear the two video game guys coming on the podcast with
No,
Kristen.
and I was like super confused by like like she's like told me what your guys' podcast was, and I was definitely like with your mom. I'm like, I'm not really sure like what's happening, and then I tried to Google it like you said in the so I listened to the your intro episode. Because I started listening to your regular episode and I didn't know what was going on, so I'm like, maybe I should listen to the intro one. They'll kind of explain to me what's happening. So definitely, if you don't listen, or if you're watching this, now you know, so you won't be as dumb as me. So then I went back and listened to the 5-minute one and was like, oh, okay, great. Men of low moral fiber, of course, totally, that's a thing.
Right.
So Googled it, but I couldn't really find the definition, so I'm like, I'm sure they'll just tell us later. But I was going to try and be, like, super prepared. I wasn't. And then I listened to a little bit of your podcast, but I hadn't played the game because I tried to, but the one that you're going to talk about, Maniac Mansion, was the one that I didn't really have for anything for me to do. It was, like, just a video of this guy, like, walking through this house, and then, like, these aliens in the basement. And Sandy, she got lost, and she had a tube top. I don't know what her deal was. It was kind of confusing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No. So the link that we sent you has playable demos, or it has demos of all the games.
Oh.
Only like 2 or 3 of them are actually playable. And
Yeah.
so
Okay, good.
the one you saw, totally, you're right. It's not playable.
So don't try and play that one.
Don't play that one.
Monkey Island
But
is
you
the
could
one,
play
yeah.
the pirate one, because I started to play the pirate one, but as I was listening to you guys weren't talking about the pirate one, so then I went back to play the other one. Anyway, it was a whole thing.
So that's
Not that anyone
another
cares.
issues probably that we ran into and that a lot of people who listen to our podcast are going to run into is the fact that a lot of these games only came out on floppy disk. So you have to get emulators for these games that aren't necessarily legal. I don't know the legality of that. So far we haven't really encouraged that or put links to these things, but we're like, I'm sure if you want to play these games, you can find a way to play them.
And also you should probably explain what an emulator is. I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
if it has anything to do with like Oregon Trail, I forgot I also played that game. So if we're going to play that at some point, let me know.
So basically your computer now doesn't have... You remember when you played Oregon Trail, you put in the disk and you'd like type start Oregon Trail or whatever?
Right, yeah.
Your computer right now doesn't have that thing where you can type it in.
Okay.
And so it has... there's this software program called an emulator, which emulates old computers.
An old computer. So it makes your computer old again?
Well, it's just in a little window.
Is it going to like start up and be like tick, 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 and it have like the little like...
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
it's so cool.
That'd be so fun.
It does
that. Kind of makes me nostalgic. I'd put pants on for that.
Oh,
that's the Kristen stamp
success.
of approval.
Yeah.
Hey, is my voice still crazy to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Katie Chu, thank you for pointing out that it's being ridiculous.
You want me to ask the questions?
Yeah, you might.
I don't know what they are. You have the keeper.
All right, I'll take over. Okay.
I'll
I'm going to take over because my audio sounds great. What is one of the teams playing in the Super Bowl?
Ding, ding, ding. We didn't even decide.
Kristen's buzzer was I know. So Kristen.
Oh man.
Carolina Panthers. It's weird. You
Nice,
remember this.
solid.
Nice work.
But also the Denver Broncos, who have a great defense, I'm told, by
Both
some
teams.
guy on the TV.
Solid.
Now,
was
what are
right.
the teams playing in the Puppy Bowl?
Ah! Oh my gosh, they're so cute. There's a little golden retriever, and there's a little German Shepherd.
I'll tell you right now, it's the Carolina Panthers.
Oh my God.
Is it really?
No,
I
I don't
have
know.
no idea. I'm making this up as I go.
That was a good one,
I'm
though.
just
I
buying
believe
time until
you.
your mic works. Is that not what the plan was?
Okay, you guys talk about things.
You know what I'll do is I'll just ask the questions that you gave us, and we'll make up answers. You guys can talk about
Those weren't really
we can talk about
questions.
whatever
Those
we
were-
want.
Those were vague ideas. You're going to ask us the question movie/TV villain?
Yeah.
I know the answer. I know
Don't
the
worry,
answer.
I totally know the answer to that one, so
Me too.
it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Go ahead and talk about it while I try to figure out my...
The movie TV villain?
Well, I think we could decide
Whatever you
on
want.
buzzer
Talk about
noises.
whatever you want.
I think we could
Talk about whatever we
buzzer
want.
noises.
Yeah.
Can we talk about your elephant painting behind you on this epic mantle? And what's
What's
happening?
What is happening?
Let me
Amazing.
take you around. Just the elephant painting?
Yeah. Did you make that?
I did not.
No.
We bought it on probably Overstock.com.
Nice.
I didn't buy that.
Um,
He's not talking about the Men of Low Moral Fiber. We there.
Over here is the fantasy football trophy that I won by defeating Ben many
This
times.
is the opposite of what they want their podcast to be about.
Many times.
No, I'm into it. Your mantle is like takes up the whole wall. Like it's lots of like
it's for serious.
it's like not a joke.
No.
Also,
Did
you work
Did
at
you think my
TCU?
mantle was a joke? Yeah.
You
Oh.
work at TCU? I
do.
know some students who go there. That was so
great.
exciting when I read that. I thought that was
Well, let's talk names off the podcast so that we don't embarrass the poor students that go there.
totally. Oh, I don't care if I embarrass them. I would be super cool with that.
Oh, awesome.
That's
Nobody
the
cares who
reason.
your friends are, Kristen. Nobody cares.
Yeah. Well, they're not. Yeah. You know. That's cool. They don't care. They don't listen to this anyway. What are they gonna know? They're so busy being cool college kids, and I'm like busy being old and talking about Oregon Trail.
So good.
So good. So is this your house then? And your ceilings are nice too. They're very high.
Thank you. And I love
to
the
talk about Jason's ceilings and leave me alone
The green
for like
color?
30 seconds.
big fan
You
of
don't
green
get to
color.
talk, Corey. Your microphone is still
Yeah.
weird and annoying.
We
so
can't hear
please-
anything you're saying, Cor.
Also,
Yeah.
here is a picture that was in the paper of the house in 1964.
Whoa!
How cool is that? So we have it hung up on the
That
wall.
is cool.
Yeah, it's
So
neat, right?
terrible.
Actually, that's a lot of history. Did it come with the house? How did you find it?
Oh, I found it. Okay, so the owners actually gave us the newspaper clippings, but it was like a really bad scan of it. No, again,
Yeah.
once you fix your mic, you can talk, Corey.
Please
And
fix
so
your mic soon.
I spent weeks pouring through old copies of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. Every Thursday is real estate day, so hang on to that. And I would go through every Thursday until I finally found it, so I could make a better scan, blow it up, and do funky things with it, so it looked good large.
Of course, as you do.
As you do.
On Thursdays on real estate day. When you're
So if anyone,
house.
if anyone's actually gotten to this point in the podcast and is still listening, feel free to go listen to Men of Low Moral Fiber podcast, where we don't talk about ceilings.
Do you guys
we
feel
don't
like you're
talk
in a
about-
Darren Aronofsky movie when I walk around like this?
Yeah. Well, I'm just you do a lot of spinning. I don't like those kinds of movies.
They're awful. Well, just Pi, I guess. It's not a Darren Aronofsky. I mean, it's one. But... Corey, any luck there?
No!
I mean, you're the
Wait,
glue
it
that
sounds
holds this
better.
thing together.
Sounds
Does it sound better?
Yeah.
It does.
Oh my god, thank god! This was getting awful. Jeez.
I'm offended. Like, I feel like you don't think I could carry this podcast by myself.
Okay, you
Bang
started
up
talking
job
about
there.
ceilings.
And I would like to just point out something really quick. I could have carried it if you would let me in on the questions that you're going to ask us, but
That
you
would be
don't,
helpful.
so I'm flying blind here. Technically, this
Okay.
is not my fault. Also,
I'm
you're
gonna-
a woman of low moral fiber. I can totally see both your bra straps right now. I just want to also point that out.
Corey's and Jason's?
Yes.
Oh my.
Oh god. Okay. I'm gonna start asking you questions now. Let's get this back on
Bring it
track.
Can we talk buzzer sounds?
Oh.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, we do need to talk buzzer sounds.
Because-
I'm gonna put my skanky bra straps up and you can,
Thank you.
You can tell me what they are. Let's start with Jason, because you were so excited about it. Your buzzer sound, sir.
Well, Ben and I actually made an arrangement beforehand. We decided we get to choose the other person's, and neither of us knows what our buzzer sound is yet.
So
Oh,
Jason's
exciting.
buzzer is, Alexa, turn the lights on. But he can just say Alexa if he wants, to
Okay.
keep it a little shorter.
I like it. I like it. And Ben's buzzer sound is.
Snarf!
Really?
That was good.
You're wonderful.
All right.
Someone want to choose a buzzer for Kristen? Ben.
No pants.
Oh,
No
no
pants.
pants.
No pants.
You have to say it like that. Ah, no pants.
Oh, no pants.
Okay, so we have Alexa, no pants, and Snarf.
What's your buzzer, Corey?
She is asking the questions. See how she monopolizes it?
I
Wow.
feel like she would win every time.
Wow.
Well,
Sure.
considering
Not without a
I relate
buzzer.
questions, I probably would, yes. All right, so buzzers in hand.
What do I say?
I believe it.
Snarf.
Again, you gotta
Okay.
do the voice, though. It's important.
All right.
Are you ready, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen?
I think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. First question. We were all basically LARPers as children, since acting out Power Rangers on the playground was a near universal experience. Today we found out some key casting news for the big screen adaptation of the classic TV show. Who is playing which classic Power Rangers villain?
Oh, no pants.
Kristen! Yes, ma'am!
Banks is playing Rita Repulsa.
Yes!
Who is?
It's Elizabeth Banks. Kristen
No
is too
way.
busy dancing to
I
answer.
said Elizabeth Banks.
Oh, you
playing
did. I
Rita
just didn't hear it.
Repulsa.
So-
Yeah, Jason then asked for clarification. Did you guys not watch Power Rangers?
Never.
Yes,
I knew the answer to that because I love Elizabeth Banks, though.
Oh man, this is a little disappointing to me.
Banksy. You guys know they're the same person, right?
I have always had my suspicions.
They've never been photographed together.
Good
Yeah.
point.
Just saying.
We won't talk about the song since apparently the Helms brothers were super uncool.
I know the Red Ranger was named Jason. 'cause
The blue one was
I'm
Bobby,
pretty full
the
of
black
myself.
one was Zach, the pink one was Kimberly, and the other ones aligned with races as well, I believe.
It is
Yeah,
the
they're
Yellow
doing
Ranger. The Yellow
It
Ranger.
was pretty rough. It was
Yeah.
pretty
Rita?
rough. It was the
Creamy.
90s, so they're like, the
Creamy.
yellow one can be Asian because...
Yeah, and the Black Ranger is
Creamy?
black.
Right, good job, Zach.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that was a problem, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that was announced today.
Wasn't Rita... Rita was not white, either, and they just were like, oh, Elizabeth Banks, you're fine to come in here and just play the non-white character because you're Elizabeth Banks.
Hollywood! Welcome to it.
Cool.
To be fair, though, she's kind of perfect for it. Rita Repulsa was like this crazy, high-pitched voice.
Yeah.
And ever since Effie, she's can pull off the crazy weirdos.
Was she like a witch with kind of like almost tentacle things?
She had like
weird hand gloves. Yeah, they were like, and she would do this a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of hand movement. I just want to read to you a little bit of the description of her from Wikipedia because I think it's hilarious. You know, when you look back on something from your youth, that made total sense when you were playing it on the playground, and then you think about it now and you're like, what? How stoned were the people who came up with this? It says, Rita Repulsa is an evil humanoid alien witch bent on galactic domination. Being a powerful sorceress, Rita has conquered many worlds through the universe, but she was defeated thousands of years ago by Zordon of Eltar during her failed invasion of Earth. Here's where it gets really good. Imprisoned in a space dumpster by the sage, Rita was cast into space where she would float for 10,000 years before arcing back to the moon in 1993.
No.
Once freed, she and her minions reclaimed their headquarters and started a second campaign on Earth to defeat Zordon and take the planet for Lord Zed.
That sounds accurate. That's what I recall.
That's totally how I remember it as well.
I said witch thing, didn't I?
You did say
pretty much
witch
nailed it.
thing. Yeah.
I don't know.
I love it. I love everything about it, and I think she's going to be great in it. But actually, that is a good point. I hadn't really thought about the fact that it's a white woman playing an Asian woman's role.
Yeah.
So now I'm a little sad.
Now
I mean,
I'm offended.
if there's one thing that the SAG Awards taught us, that there's not enough white actors getting their due in Hollywood, right?
That's
Wait,
true.
the SAG Awards was the good one, though. That was the one that actually gave, like, people a
Right. That's the one. No, not enough white
Okay.
actors are getting their due.
Yeah.
It was being ironical. Yeah. No, it's all good.
I got you. I saw where you're going with that. Corey
Thank
just
you.
likes
Cool.
to be, I always have to be right, so.
Whoa! Okay.
Guys,
Real.
satire is tough.
It's hard.
Oh, Corrigan, I'm just giving you a hard time because your microphone is still wonky.
Yeah. Guys, as Kristen knows, parody and satire are difficult. So then it's just not clear when you're being ironic and when you're not.
So true. And parodies are not always clear.
No. Is it the same movie just over again with the exact same lines? Then yes, it's a parody, right?
Yeah. Or is it like sort of like a movie maybe? Because I feel like it could maybe also be kind of a parody of Taken. Like, oh, they took his kitten. So.
For anyone who's confused why she's saying this is because of last week when I asserted that Keanu was a parody of John Wick, and Kristen fought me tooth and nail on the use of the word.
I just feel like there's many movies where people and or things can be kidnapped, and so all of a sudden just be like, oh, it's totally John Wick. Like, maybe they just really like Keanu Reeves and they named their kitten that, and maybe they're just really big fans of movies where things get kidnapped. Like, I just don't understand. And he fought the Russian mob. This was not the Russian mob that they're fighting. So it's like there's not even a mob. It's just like this guy that's maybe a gangster. I don't know. I just feel like it was kind of a stretch for me to be able to put two and two together. That's all I'm saying.
Ransom with Mel Gibson.
2
Yeah.
a parody of
see?
Evil Dead.
Thank you.
Is Evil Dead 2 a parody of Evil Dead? Was that the question?
That's what I want to know.
I don't know if Kristen is going to be able to answer that.
If I watched what?
Nothing.
Evil Dead?
I think we got to move on from this question.
Yeah.
We have to move on from this.
It's not working.
Let's keep
My
moving
bad.
forward.
Okay.
A former teen pop star more or less told the entire world he had sex with a big-time Hollywood star in the most high school football player humble brag manner possible. Who kissed and told?
I got no idea.
I don't know.
Kristen, I'm going to hint that he may still get jealous. Who was it?
Joe?
Alexa.
Jason wins. Jason gets the
Justin
points.
Timberlake.
Oh.
How dare you?
Who wants
That's
to play
offensive that you think Justin Timberlake's saying jealous.
I don't even know that's a song.
Oh my gosh, I can't even with you guys right now. I'm not wearing any pants. Obviously, the answer must be Nick Jonas. Who did he say he made out with? Britney
Had
Spears.
sex with.
Britney Spears.
It was not. It was, okay, the fellas might be able to do this. She's the ultimate Band-Aid.
The ultimate Band-Aid.
Band-Aid?
Band-Aid.
Almost Famous is being referenced.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Kate Hudson?
who's in that?
Yes, Kate Hudson. I tried to throw you a bone, and
Nice. Good call. Thank you.
this is
Sorry.
two in a row.
We helped out. We helped out.
You did. You gave me
I
almost.
was there too.
I've never seen that, so I just know who's in it.
It was Kate Hudson. For Complex magazine, Nick Jonas did a big sort of tell-all thing in which the interviewer asked him straight out if he was having sex with Kate Hudson, and his response was, out of my best effort to respect her and her privacy, I'm not going to say if we had sex or not.
Yikes.
Nick Jonas, you dirty, dirty slut.
Wow.
It's not where I thought that was going. Yeah, that's what he said. You know,
So why didn't he just say, yeah?
right?
Because
You just
now
said
I'm like, listen to him, I'm like, wait, you're saying yes. That's what you're saying. You're
Yeah.
saying yes.
Yeah.
Or the other thing he could be doing is they didn't, but he wants people
Exactly.
to think he did.
Because yes can lead to a defamation lawsuit.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yes.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Like, is he supposedly dating her currently, or this is just a thing that happened once?
Apparently they're like, good friends and confidants and,
It's so weird. She's like a
so
mom.
weird.
Isn't she like a mom?
Yeah.
she is a mom. And he's like basically a child, right? Like,
Yeah. Like, couldn't she be his mom? This is like Raising Helen situation, I feel like.
Yes. Agreed.
wow, timely reference right there.
I don't know what the
I thought
reference
so.
is, but I agree.
Freaky Friday?
Ooh, what?
Oh, come on, Raising Helen. Joan Cusack, John Corbett, Kate Hudson, Hayden Panettiere, Abigail Breslin,
Wow.
Wow.
brother.
Well, those are young people.
Who
It's
is
gotta
the
be a
secret?
Joan Cusack's not young. She's oldish.
Panettiere? She's old. She's
Panettiere,
young.
she's youngish. She's just very
Yeah.
small.
She has very small hands, like even for a small person.
She's just
always
a
thought that.
small, like, human. Everything about her is small.
Her ideas,
It's
her
like
hands, everything. Small.
Oh, I didn't see
Okay.
it on my phone. Okay.
What else
So
you
that's
got?
the thing. That's the thing that he said, and it's gross, but whatever. That's Nick Jonas. Okay.
That's gross.
Ready. Okay. What? A gangster in jail for crimes he swears he didn't commit is claiming that a film made about his exploits is pure fiction?
Alexa!
Go figure. Hold on.
Alexa!
You have to wait till
Hold
I finish the
on.
question.
You
Wait,
say
there's
that, but
more?
sometimes your questions are so obvious within
Oh my
the first,
gosh,
like,
keep going, keep
two
going.
words, and then you make us wait until the end, and we're not
It's
really
for
going
the
to be
people
done
at home,
talking.
Kristen.
I thought you were
That's
done.
true. That's a good point.
But your questions are kind of longer than they need to be. I mean, I don't want to judge you, but
Can you listen to this girl riding my balls all night?
Yeah.
you don't have any balls for us to ride, first of all.
Golly. Okay. What legendary Southie crime boss denounced a 2015 biopic about his life?
Alexa.
Sorry.
Jason.
We're done.
Yes.
Okay. Whitey Bulger.
Oh.
That is correct.
He said that basically, how do I remember Whitey Bulger's name, but I can't remember 21 Jump Street.
Wow.
That's all I
Depp.
got.
Johnny Depp.
Thank you.
I got you. It's cool.
21 Jump
He
Street.
basically called Johnny Depp the mobster and said, "You're the one who made all this stuff up. I didn't do anything."
Yeah.
He's a little bonkers. That really is
Although
like,
he does think he looks like Johnny Depp, which I think is adorable.
That's true. I liked that part of it.
that was hilarious. Yeah, he's like, but I will say I look like that, bruh.
Although, here's the thing. The thing about that movie is Johnny Depp looked like a lizard person. So
Yeah.
is Whitey Bulger saying that he looks like a lizard person?
He was actually talking about Johnny Depp from Lone Ranger.
Oh, that
I'm not sure if you knew that.
Well, also, who does he have to choose from? His real face or Johnny Depp? And then didn't Jack Nicholson play him
Yes.
in The Departed?
It's
Nicholas.
Jack Nicholas
It was
played for
pretty
him
sure
in
it's Jack
Jack
Nicholson.
Jack
Yep.
Nicholas.
You know?
Sure.
I would pick Jack.
Career move.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Jack Nicklaus was He's like, hold on 1 second, just gonna work on my little putting move here. I don't know if that's the thing that golfers say.
My
Give
little
me my
putting
9
move.
iron.
Little putting move, yeah.
I feel like 2 irons, and that was one of them.
It's great.
I don't know anything about golf.
Hey,
Obviously,
golf
but I know
clubs are
that.
good weapons, so I can see it working. This was a thing he said. You guys, I don't know, I may have mentioned this on the Fancave before, but can I tell you my favorite thing that Whitey Bulger did? Which
No.
is weird, like, that's not exactly a category, favorite things Whitey Bulger did.
Right.
Yeah, that's like a Netflix genre that they give you.
Yeah, weirdly specific recommendation.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned this before, but for you guys, as we're talking about this, Whitey Bulger was imprisoned in Alcatraz, and Ben, I know you're an avid Alcatraz aficionado, and so he was imprisoned there, and then a few years ago, well, 20 years ago, whatever, he went on the run, was hiding out in Santa Monica all this time, was finally arrested and caught. When they caught him, they discovered that he had been extremely brazen about sort of showing himself in public. And one of the things that he did was that he and his wife actually went on a tour of Alcatraz and took a photo in the prison garb in a cell on
This is
Alcatraz.
amazing.
Like a
That's awesome.
souvenir photo.
Guys, here's the thing. Gangsters are so terrible, let's just agree, but they're also, so awesome.
So cool.
Because that's the most incredible thing I've ever heard. I love it so much.
Also, that didn't lead to his arrest.
Right? Like that.
Let's talk about it. Nobody noticed that Whitey Bulger was
Right.
standing in front of his old cell, photo op, this is going on the
Right.
Christmas card.
Okay, but it's
selfie,
have you ever seen your teacher outside of class?
Yeah.
And it doesn't make sense at first.
Right,
You
yeah.
don't even
Yeah.
quite see them. It's not the right context. I feel like you could stand in front of your wanted poster and no one would know that it was you.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's not like
He
the old
takes a picture
Gordon
next to himself
sitting
and
there, watching people come in and out.
yeah. Because he's legitimately on the wall in Alcatraz. He's
Right.
one of the people. And there's 18 books about him in the bookstore. So it's
Yeah.
this is not he's just flying under the radar. He's
He should have gone through and signed a couple.
he was right. How great would that be? He's psych, I was here, bitches. It's what do you? I don't even know what you write in that. It's so amazing.
Whitey was here.
That's what I love about gangsters is they live these incredibly awful lives. Granted. But they always get caught in the most you can't write the way these guys get caught or the things that they do. You can't make this shit up. You can't make up that Whitey Bulger visited Alcatraz and took a picture in his old cell.
Nobody would
can't
believe
make that
you. Yeah.
because
if
no,
you put that
that's
in
the stupidest. That's the most ridiculous thing, but it's so amazing.
Yeah.
I agree.
I just love everything about the mob. It's just incredible how much I love it.
Except the actual,
Yeah, except I don't actually want to be a part of it, but I love all the things that they do.
But you're
even though
happy
they are
that
horrible,
they're
and I
here
don't-
doing their things.
Yeah.
You just don't want to be.
I just kind of appreciate and for what that they are. Even
if
though what they are
if
is
they did
terrible.
charity or something,
I don't.
murder, it would be awesome.
I really love Sting. I don't really listen to his music, but I just really appreciate that he's there.
Definitely.
Apt.
So true.
Next question.
Okay, hit us.
Because there's no parody of art more apt than art itself, a probably inebriated businessman paid $1.5 million for a photograph of what?
Scarf.
I'm sorry. It's really funny.
Right? Isn't that my
I thought
thing?
you said shart.
Shart.
And I was like, that's a weird thing to admit on live podcast. You're new to this whole thing, so I'm going to let you do you. You're
I
better.
appreciate your
Gotta go. I forget what the question was, but but I have a lot of facts about it. I know this one.
Okay, tell us about it.
So it was a photo of a potato. It was this little, I think it was a little black and white photo of a potato, and looking at it, the article I read about it was basically saying, who would spend, what was it, 70, I don't know how much money. How much money did you say? A lot of million?
$1.5 million.
$1.5 million on this print this photograph of potato. It's a good-looking potato. I'm not gonna lie. I've never seen that quite a lovely potato in my life. It had a little dirt on it still. You could see it was all natural, black and white.
Jesus' impression on it, or
What's that?
did it look like Jesus or Mary, mother of Jesus, or anything?
Oh, it just looked like a really hearty potato. And I don't know. It looked like it was balanced well. Other art things to say here that I don't know, but yeah, it was a potato.
Did you see?
Chiaroscuro?
Because my favorite thing is the way that like artists justify like stupid stuff. Because you can really like, if you're an artist and you're respected, you can do anything and say it means anything, and everyone is just like, yeah, bruh. Mm-hmm. And so,
Art is what you can get away with.
The guy who, it's true.
Who said that? That's genius. I'm running it down. Art is what you get away with?
What you can get away with. I think it's Andy Warhol.
I believe
he said that? That guy was kind of a dick. I don't think I'm going to write it down after all. I thought you said it.
I said it. You know what?
Just now.
I write down quotes. I still have Lisa's. Lisa said this about David Bowie. He's always from the future, no matter what time it is.
That was so good.
Wasn't that great?
Also, it's Lisa's birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa.
Happy birthday,
Lisa. It's
on a
your
poster.
birthday.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Lisa.
Lisa.
Oh, we're all out of tune with each other.
I
It's so
know.
good.
I think that made it better. It was like a round, but like really off round.
Good.
The artist said about this potato, I see commonalities between humans and potatoes that speak to our relationship as individuals within a collective species. Generally, the life of a harvested potato is violent and taken for granted.
No, stop it. I don't want to hear it anymore. Stop talking.
This is where it gets really good. I use the potato as a proxy for the ontological study of the human experience.
I'm actually muting you. Tell me when you're done.
No, I'm done. That's it. That's what he said.
I can't. You guys, that's terrible. I am offended by that entire... I don't even know what just happened. You know what? That's one of those things like when you're watching The Bachelor and they say so many words, but they don't actually say anything. That's what I feel like just happened right now.
I was told the Bachelor would not come up tonight.
I know. I'm sorry. I made you a promise and I couldn't stick to it.
That's not true. I talk about The Bachelor at all times because it's the most terrible show in the whole world, and I hate watching it, but I have to because it's like a train wreck and I can't look away. Although I do. I cover my face for half the show because I can't.
That's why it's so weird that you watch this show, because you have such a hard time watching anything that's embarrassing and makes you cringe.
You guys, my friend sent me this GIF of Ted Cruz, like,
with his daughter
trying to kiss this person.
It's his
So
daughter.
good. It's so good.
It was so uncomfortable. Like, my soul aches for the uncomfortableness that was happening. And it was like, I'm watching it, and I watched it, like, you know, because they replay. And it just kept going, and I kept watching it, and I'm like, why am I still watching this? I hate it because my heart is breaking for the awkward. It's like, I can't, I'm seeing it, I can't. Oh my god, it's so bad.
It's great. I've seen several iterations of this GIF today, and my favorite one was that someone put that up against Alien, where like the alien.
Yes, it was so good.
No, that was it. That was the one that I saw, because the second half of it, I'm like watching it, and then
reenacting it.
That was it.
I feel like we could do it.
That's the only thing that saved this moment. It was so uncomfortable. And she's like,
unfortunately, the bummer is that when this YouTube thing goes up, only the one person who is talking actually appears. So, way to circumvent that problem.
There you go.
just yell over everything.
That's the sound effect from Alien, right? Did I nail it?
I think you did.
Totally.
Yeah. It sounded a little Power Thirst-esque to me, but it was.
Oh, yeah.
Power Third.
Oh man.
Oh, I forgot about Power Thirst.
Yeah,
I don't know what that means.
forget.
I'm just gonna nod and smile with you guys here on this.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
thing.
you did.
You guys remind me. Don't let me not send Kristen Power Thirst later.
Cool.
That was
There's
so
so many
negative.
negatives
But you
there.
see what I was? Yeah.
Can we get back to the potato, please?
The potato.
Ben did his homework, guys.
Yeah, sorry, Ben.
Ben wants credit.
I read a lot of pop culture things this week for the first time in my life.
Like, in preparation.
Yeah.
That's more than we do.
Yeah. Well, you watched The Bachelor.
Yeah.
That's
By the way,
true.
can I just tell you, I write down who got the question correct on each one of these, and for the last question, I think I was multitasking, and so I wrote down Jason Depp.
Jason
Jason
Depp.
Depp.
That's right.
No, that's
I got a
incorrect.
point.
That's incorrect.
None of that is right.
That happened.
I just want to point out that the guy who made the $1.5 million potato picture, his average he is a professional photographer, obviously, and his average price that his photos sell for is $400,000.
Wow.
$400,000. That's his average. I don't know. I'm guessing other potatoes, fruit,
But
veggies.
that's not average per photo taken. Let's put that in perspective. That's per photo.
Okay.
So
Okay.
still,
All right. All right.
I don't like any picture having.
Right, but he could sell one picture and still make more money than I ever have had in my life.
I'm
That's
not
my point.
certain that that's not my average. I just haven't sold any photos yet. But once it happens, I'm expecting the first to go for 400K.
That's fair.
You should just take a picture of that mantle, because it's glorious.
I
And maybe
love
the
that you love
ceiling
it
if
so
you have
much.
time.
It's a really good mantle.
Look at it! It's huge!
It's a
It's
solid
so much
wall.
brick. I love brick.
And the orange shelves on the green background, that's all Megan's idea, my wife. I just love it. I
Exquisite.
think it looks good.
Good job, Megan.
Thanks.
I like
And
Megan
I'm
already.
sitting in one of these nice chairs. They're pretty comfy.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very
Impressive.
orange.
All right. Next question. I'm going to cut out some of this because we have had so much good conversation. We're running out of time. So, sick of listening to those boring football experts providing color commentary on the Super Bowl? Worry not. A famous comedy duo is providing an alternative with one kind of giant caveat. Who are they? And what's the caveat?
Alexa.
Snarf. Snarf.
Wow.
Alexa.
That was a call.
That was always me. That was totally me.
I'm gonna say Jason.
It
Yes!
was
I'm
not me.
saying that because he's our guest, but I'll let you have it.
And because I have a picture of a cat instead of my face.
There was a little bit that I just appreciate that.
It's okay. So it's Key and Peele.
Yes.
Yay.
And I can't totally remember the names of the fake people they made up. Lewis and Tom.
You probably don't need to know that part.
I thought you were
Did something.
something
Don't
Clark.
know.
I was like, that would have
But
been.
the caveat is, okay, and they're doing this for Squarespace, so it's all going to be online. The caveat is that they aren't allowed.
It's a really smart cat.
they
It's really pop culture savvy.
No one
didn't
wants
get
to
the
see
rights the
Juan right
game.
now, man.
Did you say Juan?
Juan.
Yeah.
Your cat's
Your
name is
cat's name
Juan?
is Juan?
So we need to talk about the cat for a second. We'll get back to Key and
We'll get
Peele.
back to Key and Peele, yeah.
So, as you can tell, he's got a black nose. It used to be a more defined, like a mustache. When he was
What
a
is
kid.
happening right now?
So, my wife and I named him after famous University of Pittsburgh coach Dave Wanstad's mustache, the Wanstache.
Oh, I was hoping that the cat's full name was Dave Wanstead's mustache.
No, it's
It's
Wanstache.
like a racehorse name.
Yeah, no, that's solid, but it was Wanstache. Then it somehow became Juan, then Juan, and then Juanita, then Nita, then Nietzsche, and somehow Alfred. I don't know.
Okay.
Now it's Alfred?
I'm gonna let it be.
That's like one of those things, like when you're talking and then you're talking about something, and then like a while later your friend says something that has absolutely nothing to do with what you're talking about, and it's because their train of thought is like has gone off to like Siberia and is nowhere near what's going on.
Yep.
You were on trains, weren't you? That's why you got to Siberia.
Yeah.
There we go.
Also,
That's
I
every
listened to a
conversation.
podcast about the Khans, like Genghis Khan, and they talk about like Mongolia and Siberia.
And the pros and cons.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That was a dad
Okay.
joke. You must be a dad.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a dad joke.
He was a dad. There you go.
Key and Peele did not get the rights to the Super Bowl, so they can't talk about the Super Bowl in their commentary, which I think is going to be really funny, and I'm so tempted to watch.
I am absolutely 100% watching. This is clearly easier for me because I also don't understand sports ball, so it's not going to take away from it.
And you
At
won't
all.
understand it any better because of them. Guaranteed.
Exactly.
It's gonna be
So-
genius.
Yeah, I'm totally for this. I'm curious. What do you think they're going to talk about? Because I mean, the Super Bowl lasts for like what, 37 hours. So what are they going to talk about this whole time?
Well, so you've seen their introductions to the Senior Bowl, right?
Yes.
Which
So
is
good.
just fantastic, and especially I think it was the third version where they included actual NFL players like Ha Ha Clinton Dix.
Oh, wow.
That's his name.
That's a legitimate human being.
Well,
Vontez-
technically, haha
Vontez Perfect.
is a nickname. I did Google it.
Oh, is Ha Ha a nickname? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's,
I
That's
did.
what everyone calls him.
I did, because my brother told me that, and I was like, that's not a guy's name. And he was like, yeah, it is. I was like, Chad, no, it's not. That's not his name.
Nice.
His name is Hashan. Hashan, but it's like not Hashan, it's like Hassian or something. And it's like Ha, it starts with an H-A, so it's Ha Ha, and it was someone who called him that, so.
Okay. That's similar to the just sort of going off on a tangent about
Yeah,
things.
so I bet they could just talk about player names for the whole time.
We're just
Oh,
like,
it is Hashan, sorry. It's Hashan, so it's Hassin, not Hashan. So it looks like Sean, but it's not. It's Hassin.
Oh.
But they call him Ha Ha.
Wow.
They are actually, it'd be illegal if they mention any of the players' names, numbers, or the actual word Super Bowl. Or
Really?
the
They
team
can't
names.
even mention the players.
This
Yeah,
is
but
what I think is
can't
going to be
mention
like amongst the most interesting things they have to do is like they really can't screw it up. So
Can
have to be
they
really
react to what's happening
Yeah,
on the screen?
Yeah.
I would think
I
so.
feel like
Yeah.
if anybody can pull it off, it's these guys that
Yeah.
may or may not have made a parody about the movie John Wick, but also could have been about a number of other movies.
We're getting closer. You said may or may not. We're getting closer. By the end of this episode, you will be talking about how it's a parody of John Wick.
No, I'm not. I'm only saying that because Corey claims it's a parody of John Wick.
Isn't John Wick a parody of all these ransom movies and all these
It's
kidnapping
really more of a
movies?
pastiche.
Keanu Reeves is not, like, savvy enough to make a parody. Okay, he's too serious.
You know he didn't like make that movie, right? He's just in it.
Meow, meow.
Wow.
What has happened?
So Corey's gonna start making movies without actors now because they don't make movies. They're
Yeah.
just in movies. Wow.
Basically.
Wow.
Basically.
Racist.
This is my art.
Thank you, Jason.
I don't feel the need to explain my art to you, Ben.
Hey,
this
Corey,
why
will
you
you
skipped the
freaking
Chris
ask
Pratt
the
question?
freaking Instagram question so we can talk about my favorite person?
So excited. Alexa, buzz in now.
No, you can't, because I obviously know what the answer is because I asked her to ask it because it's my favorite person, so clearly I know the answer to this one, so don't even think about trying to call on him before me.
She's
Okay,
skipping
but
it.
here's the thing. You have to sing our theme song after you answer it.
I have to say our theme song?
The theme song for the answer to this question.
I have to sing the theme song?
What's the theme song?
Ben, clearly you just don't listen to us. Hold on. All right, here we go.
Oh, your theme song.
But I don't listen to it enough either to remember how it goes.
Electric fan
You don't even have
cave,
to
electric fan cave. It's the electric fan cave.
Okay, ready? Here we go. So
Actually,
his math skills were a
we
little
should
sketchy.
probably have him actually make us a theme song because his lyrics are so like just
We
spot
guys
on.
collaborate and make
We
a
should
theme
give him
song
a
for the
random
Fancave.
sampling of episodes and be like, write us a theme song that uses all of these keywords, please.
Cool. I'm in.
And this is your assignment, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I'm asking the question now. Though his math skills were a little sketchy, what actor posted a groggy middle-of-the-night inspirational message on Instagram encouraging his followers to hustle hard and not have a plan B?
Alexa, turn the lights down, please.
Kristen. Kristen Monroe, what is the answer?
Who is Chris? Are we supposed to ask it in a question? It's Chris Pratt, obviously.
All of a sudden, we're in Jeopardy mode. And the
Who
theme
is-
song.
Who is Christopher Pratt?
Andy from The Office.
That was me trying to do
His real name
the.
is actually Christian Pratt, but they call him Chris for short.
Yeah,
Um,
nice try.
Fun fact.
Chris is
Fun
actually a nickname.
my brother told me, he's like, there's a guy named Chris Pratt, and I was like, no, there's not. Okay.
That's not his name. I was like, that's so bull. So full of it.
Much like Jason, what was the name of your fella with all the U's in his name on your podcast?
Jules.
Jasper Jewel.
Juul.
Yeah! you guys-
Nice. Wow, thanks guys. Thanks for listening.
Nice.
I really liked the question. How many U's do you think is in that name? That was good trivia.
That
was
should
the
have
answer.
been a question because I would have also gotten it right, and I feel like you had to have called on me because I wasn't actually in the podcast.
Yeah.
I
we
would
would've.
have. I would have.
All right, Chris Pratt corner. Talk about it, Kristen.
You guys, Chris Pratt, I love him so much.
Yeah.
And you know that we do, because we have a Chris Pratt corner in which we talk about him. So
Yeah.
he is currently filming Passengers, and as soon as he's done with Passengers, he's actually going to start filming Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which we obviously are super excited about. And we probably should link to that amazing picture of Dave Bautista being adorable and everybody being amazing in it. So he posts this picture. He's doing it. He had just finished he had finished a table read for Guardians, and then was heading back to finish filming some stuff for Passengers. And he'd been up for like a million hours, so he was super tired, but he was in Atlanta, which was where both of these things were happening, and he just kind of posts this picture of, like, 15 years ago, I was a nobody. Like, I loved acting. I knew this is what I wanted to do, and nobody would hire me, essentially. He's like, he was a struggling actor, and so he kind of just posts this picture, and he has this great thing. He's like, just keep pressing, and eventually it'll break. It'll break before you do, is what his kind of inspirational message is. It's like, just keep chasing after that dream, like, don't give up, because if I'd given up, like, he wouldn't be in these incredible films and franchises and getting to work with really awesome people. Obviously, Jennifer Lawrence, what? So, he's just amazing, and I don't know if you guys know this. I think we've said it before. His Instagram is just so on point because his hashtags are absolutely incredible, and he pretty much shouldn't even caption. He should only hashtag, because they're like almost like a train of thought through his hashtags, and they're so beautiful. So, it was great. We haven't had a lot of him right now, I think, because he's so busy filming stuff. So I'm excited, because if he's doing 2 films back to back, that means we're gonna get like double the press tour when it ends up happening, which will be exciting. So, and the world's gonna explode with the adorableness of Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence both being on the same press tour. I can't even imagine what that shenanigans is gonna turn into. So.
I've got a quick question for you, Kristen.
Yeah, hit me.
How long would a Chris Pratt hug last?
Like with me or in general?
With you, but maybe in general also. But
he's
like,
married.
when could you ever be sad again?
Oh.
If you got a Chris Pratt
Like the residual effects.
Oh, the residual. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's such a good question.
That sounds like something that you'd ask if you had Chris Pratt in the room with you, Jason.
Well,
yeah.
Listen, I've got some good news for you. Open your front door right now.
Don't turn around.
Go, get up, get up.
Nice, I know what you're trying to do, because I don't have pants on. You're trying to get me to stand up. I see your game, Jason. I see right through you. Okay?
Low moral fiber, Kristen.
Yeah. I forgot who I was dealing with here. I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot who I was dealing with. But I'm not gonna lie. For 1 second, I almost stood up.
Oh.
It was a second of hesitation where I'm like, I mean, just to like be funny. I mean, I know he's not really down there, but there's a part of me that's like, what if he is standing in the cold? That would be so sad.
Wow.
Did you hear that knock at the door, everyone? I think I heard something. I heard it. I know I heard it.
I know, that was me knocking. I'm not
He's
gonna lie.
downstairs right now.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, we love him so much. He's amazing. He's great.
And the set pictures from the rehearsals for Guardians of the Galaxy are also delightful. There's a couple of them. Chris Pratt posted a picture of his Walkman with the Volume 2 awesome mix.
Awesome.
Sorry. Nose got really congested all at once right there.
And
James Gunn.
into my eyes for a second.
James Gunn has posted 2 pictures from the set as well. And it all looks so magical. I'm just so excited.
That's awesome.
So, Chris Pratt Corners will be back in full effect
So,
pretty soon.
so when Corey's mic screws up a little bit, it kind of goes auto-tune, right?
Yeah.
And that sounded
Right.
really good, Corey.
Yeah.
Like you were
It's
making
very
the
little.
most of
It's
it.
very little John.
Yeah.
I was going for Cher, but Lil Jon's good too, I guess. That's cool.
Just say I'm on a boat.
I'm not going to do that. So that's all the questions I'm going to ask for this evening. Hey, Jason and Ben, where can we find you on the interwebs?
Oh, Jason's pointing at me. Find us on our website at menoflowmoralfiber.com, which links to everything else. But on Twitter, we're at MOLMFpod, and then you can email us as well, MOLMFpod@gmail.com.
It really rolls off the tongue.
It
It
does.
really does. It was
That's why I
really hard
pointed
to
it
say
back.
the first couple of lines. Yeah, MOLMFpod. menoflowmoralfiber.com. That has everything.
If you go on the website, there's already a few posts up there. One of them has a contest on it. So if you know where the quote comes from, we decided to steal from you and have a little trivia. and you're the first to comment there and say, oh, I know where that quote comes from, and here's where it is, we will say your name during an upcoming episode of the podcast.
Say my name when no one is around you. Say, baby, I love you if you ain't running game. Say my name.
Wow.
You acting kind of shady. Ain't calling me baby. Why the
say my
sudden
name.
That was really beautiful, you guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, so all of that said, that's where you find those fellas on the internet. Thank you guys so much for joining us. It was a blast to have you.
It was a very fast hour. Yeah, thanks again for having us.
Thank you guys so much.
Yay!
Just like
I'm
that.
sorry I didn't know what you were talking about for like the first like 10 minutes, but it was really educational.
It was much more fun that way.
And now I can emulate my computer to make it like a little computer.
You don't emulate your computer, then you just be like speaking binary. Never mind.
No, it's like that.
Emulate? Emasculate?
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Oh boy, what have we brought? Okay, so that's it for the Fan Cave this week. Thank you guys so much for listening once again to us and the Men of Low Moral Fiber. You can find us all over the internet on Twitter, on Facebook, Electric Fan Cave and those places, YouTube, The Electric Feast, electricfeast.com for the blog that will have all the questions and answers and links to everything that we talked about today. So subscribe, rate and review, and share us with your friends if you enjoyed listening to us, because that's the best way for us to start a sweet podcast party. So, for this week, I'm Corrigan Vaughn.
I'm Kristen Latterell.
I'm
Jason,
Ben
I
Helms.
thought you were going to be there. Oh.
And I will be Jason.
Peace out, everybody.
At some point. Take it easy, kids.
Lights.